So we're going to hear from the folks at the Wellness Way, which I talk about them all the time. I really truly think live in the world of make-believe. They are a chiropractic group and they really just make stuff up. But let's check them out and see what they got to say.
So I'm going to show you the labs of a female that came in that was told that everything was completely normal with her every time she would go to a doctor, get blood work and scans done, but she did not feel normal at all. She had severe bloating, anxiety, brain fog, joint pain. She even had issues with her cycle where she'd have to call out sick to work during her first day of her period. She also had lots of constipation and GI issues.
So this is a pretty common story, actually. I do see this a lot of the times. And yeah, unfortunately, doctors like myself, MDs, will often order labs, if they'll even do that, and they won't help. And the reason that people are going to these alternative providers is because we as a medical system have failed them.
So she was going to these doctors and asking if there was any other testing that she could do to get answers as to what was happening. And they told her, no, just take some birth control, take these medications, and that's the only thing that we can do for you because all your labs are normal.
Again, this is true, happens all the time. And again, the reason that women are leaving the medical system and not trusting the medical system is because of this gaslighting.
Well, she reached out to us and got testing to figure out exactly what was causing these issues, and let's check these labs out. So when looking at her testing, we could actually see that most of her hormones were very, very low, and she was actually having a really hard time metabolizing and processing these hormones.
So what he's doing here is this is a classic kind of a bait and switch. He's posting a picture of a Dutch test. Dutch test is a urine screen that I think is a fairly accurate test, and I do them occasionally. But if you notice, he's pointing out the estrogen levels. Now, if this woman is indeed on birth control pills, the estrogen is going to be 0. And if you look, the dial is basically at 0. This is because the Dutch doesn't measure birth control pills, it measures estrogen. And if she's on that birth control pill, then her estrogen is going to be really low because it's suppressing the ovaries. And if it's the beginning of her cycle, then this is supposed to be low anyways. But he's going to talk about how she's metabolizing. You can't use this test for the metabolizing because you can see the estrogen is 0. Dutch will even tell you this. So he's making an assumption of her metabolism based on the fact that her levels are 0. This is completely erroneous and doesn't mean anything that he's about to say.
And it was causing her lots of her anxiety and other issues with her hormones. When we did urine cortisol testing, you could see how high her cortisol was, and you could see it was through the roof on her pattern throughout the entire day.
Now this I would agree with. High cortisol can definitely be happening during times of stress. Your body doesn't know the difference between monetary stress, relationship stress, physical stressors, or even things like not sleeping at night, but it is elevated.
This was giving her lots and lots of anxiety, making her hold on to weight and affecting her cycles as well. On the stool test, we found that she had a specific type of parasite that was also causing some of the bloating and GI issues.
Again, using words, the scary words like parasites. The parasite that he's mentioning is actually in about 80% of the population, and it doesn't cause problems in most people. The parasite testing to me is a little bit crazy. Most people in this country may have a parasite at any given time. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's affecting your health. It's based on what you eat. I've been to Mexico a million times. I probably have one. I'm not having any issues. Could be an issue, but the one that he's pointing out here, 80% of the population has it.
Also on the stool testing, we found 2 different types of bacteria and yeast that were overgrown, that were causing lots of issues. Anytime that she ate sugar or carbohydrates that turned into sugar quickly, this was actually getting worse. She would get more bloating, more anxiety, more brain fog, all types of issues.
Again, what he's doing, he's just throwing stuff out there. Oh, it's causing her issues. Oh, her sugar goes up. Our sugar goes up all the time whenever we eat. This is not a cause of health concern. That's just how your body responds to eating food. But then he's circling things and making all these comments that don't really mean anything.
Also on the stool test, we found she was having a very hard time detoxing. This enzyme actually helps get rid of certain estrogens from the intestines. And since she was not detoxing those properly, she was actually having intestinal issues as well. When running urine mold toxin testing, we also found a specific toxin that was very, very high, 3 times higher than the toxic level here. And this was also another contributing factor to all of her issues.
So again, with these labs, number one, are they even accurate? The GI map that a lot of these guys run has been shown to be a horrible test. It's actually been sued because they make false claims about this test. So this is the question. If you have abnormal results on a lab test that has horrible sensitivity and horrible specificity, then that doesn't mean anything to you. Be careful. These guys like to run tons of tests that probably aren't necessarily in the general population. So the hormone knowledge here is lacking. Interpretation of tests that may or may not be accurate in order to sell you probably, I'm guessing, about $800 worth of supplements probably just isn't necessary. Vet your providers, know what they're doctors of, know that they're actually not probably hormonal experts, and just be a savvy consumer.